afternoon to you and welcome to the Wednesday edition of Trending Issues that comes to you live from AF Television. How is your day going today? I trust you're doing just well. Thank you so much for joining us on today's edition of Trending Issues. Of course, you know how we'll do it. We'll talk about issues that are trending in Nigeria and, of course, outside the shores of Nigeria. And today I am not alone in the studio. I have a very beautiful woman also, Jennifer Ndu Carlo. Jennifer, you're welcome again to the program.
Thank you.
It's nice having you. All right, my name is still Faith Okanwa, your regular anchor on the program. Join us through all our social media platforms and join the conversation this afternoon. All the topics that we are talking about, it is listed there, and you have the opportunity to drop your comments, make your contributions, ask your questions, give your advice to the relevant persons that we're talking about this afternoon, and we'll take as much as we can. All right, quickly, we'll start from Rivers State. Jennifer, you know that Wike has been in the news, and we know that he was one of the aspirants, presidential aspirants of the People's Democratic Party, but one thing led to the other, and he did not emerge the winner. So Atiku emerged the candidate of the PDP, and before that primary, some persons were telling Wike, why should you be conversing to become the president of Nigeria when you are owing backlog of salaries, you are owing pensioners and the rest of them. But now it seems that we have a good news, because yes, Wike has directed for pensioners in the state, that is Rivers State, to be paid their pensions and gratuities. We'll just take a press release signed by IEO Samuel, the Director General of the government of Rivers State, Nigeria, before we discuss that report. Okay, the press release read, His Excellency Chief Barrister Yesom Ezenwo Wike has graciously approved the immediate commencement of payment of outstanding gratuity, monthly pension arrears, and death benefits for retirees in the Rivers State Public Service. The exercise will be done in batches. The first batch is for all those who had retired up to June 2014. All the affected retirees and next of kin for deceased retirees under this batch are requested to come to the Ministry of Justice Conference Hall for physical verification from 15th to 23rd June 2022. They have to come with their retirement ID cards and other relevant documents. Please note that this exercise is strictly for only those covered under the first batch, that is retirees up to June 2014. And some persons have commended this gesture by the governor of Rivers State, while some other persons are saying other things. What do you think, Jennifer?
Yeah, it's quite commendable. It's a welcome development for him to, you know, that's the needful. It's something he should have done way back. But him having to do it now is quite commendable, in as much as some people will ask, why now? Why is he doing that now? Be it as it may, it's still a very welcome development. It's something that I wish that most governors would emulate, to pay up their retired staffs that have, you know, have been through a lot. It's something. I commend him for that. It's quite a welcome.
Okay, still talking about some persons asking why now. Today is actually Elder Abuse Awareness Day, and the 2022 theme for that awareness is Digital Equity for All Ages. And still talking about other states, we know that so many states are still owing pensioners, like other states for the past few weeks, running to months. Our aged parents, fathers, relations, they've been taken to the streets of Umuahia, the capital city of Abia State, calling on the Governor Kezi Bazo, to pay them arrears and salaries and every other thing. What's your take about that?
Well, like I said earlier, you know, this is something that is expected of the government to do.
Yes.
Now, we're celebrating the what do they call it?
Elder Abuse Awareness.
Yes,
Day.
Elder
it's just like trying
awareness
to give an awareness. You're not supposed to be abusing.
Exactly.
And then
now, not having to pay them is quite an abuse on them, because they, for most of them that are, you know, very incapacitated, some of them do not have their children close by. Because of the fact that they are not getting the money they're supposed to be getting, they are suffering a lot. Some of them will have to engage themselves in menial jobs just to be able to make ends meet. So I urge other governors to emulate what the governor of Rivers State has done, having to pay up pensioners, the salaries, and retirees and all of that.
Even most of them are too old that they cannot even engage in menial jobs to buy
exactly. And now I wonder how they are able to help themselves. For some of them that do not have their children staying close by, and most of them, because of this, because of the hardship they've had to face, some of them are not here again because
some of them are dead already.
They are gone already. Somehow I feel like, in as much as it's a good thing that the River State governor is doing, I feel like the money would have been, they would have appreciated it more if they were alive. And now their family members, in as much as they'll be happy with the money that has come, they'll still, they'll still feel bad.
They enjoy the money. But it's still a good thing that it's coming.
Yes, it's a good thing. It's a good thing it's happening. It's better than not happening. It's a good thing it's happening.
All right, we'll call on all the other state governors, Abia, other states are owing pensioners their pensions, their gratuity. Please do endeavor to pay up this backlog of pensions and gratuity so that our aged parents, of course, this person served with their whole heart, they served with their youthful age, everything they got, they served the government, and now they have retired. Yes, it's the government's duty now to return the kind gesture by paying them all those little stipends. All right, it's still trending issues. AF Television, don't forget you can join the conversation this afternoon by following us on all those social media platforms and do justice to the topics that we've listed for you there. Just join the conversation by dropping your comments and your contributions, and we will take as much as we can. It's still Faith Okawa in the studio with Jennifer Ndu Carlo. All right, moving ahead. Yesterday, Peter Obi started trending again, and of course, he said he has gone to Egypt now to understudy some of the sectors. He mentioned the power sector, the finance sector, the education sector, and the rest of them. Of course, that trip has generated some opinion and controversies where some are saying Peter Obi should not have gone. Why is he going when he has not even won the election? Let's get your own opinion before we take some reactions that have been trailing that trip.
For me, him traveling to get such knowledge is not a bad idea.
Okay.
Because we go to school to learn. We don't stay at home and learn whatever it is we want to learn. So he has taken a step forward. Now, for this, number one, this goes a long way to tell you that he's confident that he's going to win the election.
Okay, so he has started
because if he didn't think that he would win the election, he wouldn't even have to stress himself in the first place to go on such a journey. You see. So for me, I feel like it's something that should have been done. It's a necessary move that he made.
Okay.
I still will not be able to understand why some people think that he shouldn't have done that. It's something that we as humans ought to do. If you want to learn something, you have to take a step forward to be able to learn that in which you do not know.
Okay, let's take some reactions from Twitter. We'll take the first one. Showore, Showore is a presidential candidate under his party AAC, and he wrote, heard that Peter Obi traveled to Egypt to learn how to fix education and power problems. This is exactly the problem with unprepared candidates. Candidates. Okay, he went further to write, it is 9 months to election, and a 2-term governor and former vice presidential candidate want to go learn something from Egypt in 3 days. Wow. But
first of all,
not prepared.
What do you mean by unprepared? For someone to be unprepared, the person has to stay back. It's only a prepared person that takes a step forward. So I do not understand what Showore means by unprepared.
Showore believes that Peter Obi is not prepared because if he is a prepared candidate, he should have understudied all these sectors. He should know what to do instead of going now to get that education and then come back to.
You see what they say? No man is an island is actually a very factual statement. Nobody really knows it all. You might stay where you are thinking you know everything, but then someone somewhere is has a better knowledge of that. You only have to swallow your pride in most cases and ask questions for you to be able to learn new things. Now, I do not know where Showore is coming from, where his standpoint is, but there are many things that as humans we do not know on our own. We have to ask questions. So I feel like he actually did a very good thing.
Okay, let's take some of that comments. Daniel Rega wrote on Twitter, Peter Obi, while you're building friendly relations with other countries, invest in your offline campaign, because a lot of people don't know who you are or which party you represent. Online hype, prayers and speeches don't win elections. Votes does. So unite Southeast leaders and get to work. There's Daniel giving that advice. Michael wrote also, dear Mr. Peter Obi, going to Egypt for a comparative analysis is a big no. The solutions to Nigeria problems are simple, and he listed in one: remodeled 1999 constitution, change the revenue sharing formula, resource control, power devolution to local government areas and states. Okay, Charlie Weezy wrote, when Peter Obi keeps talking about education, some of you think he's joking. Have you seen his educational achievements? He's going to Egypt to learn and understand how they were able to rebuild and fortify their economy and power sector over a space of 5 to 10 years. Another one, Dan wrote, I think it should have been better if you are in Ekiti State doing campaign for a gubernatorial candidate. Instead, you went for your business trip in Egypt, telling us you went to study. Study what when you are not yet the president? Okay, these are some of the reactions that are trailing at Peter Obi's trip to Egypt. Of course, he has gone to Egypt and he's expected to stay there for 3 days and then come back. But some persons are saying that Peter Obi has done the wrong thing by going to Egypt. Some are saying that he was supposed to be in Ekiti State. You know, Ekiti State is going to have its gubernatorial election on Saturday. And some are saying, why didn't he stay back to at least try to root for Labour Party candidates in Ekiti State?
You know, one thing I understand from this is the fact that he has given his reason why he went. He didn't just wake up and decide to go to Egypt to understudy.
Maybe to have fun.
Yeah, exactly. He has said that his reason for going was to learn how they were able to achieve all they achieved within a space of 5 to 10 years. You see, he had his reason for going. He didn't just wake up one morning and decide he wants to go to Egypt. Now, that is one of the things that should make people see or understand that he didn't just go there for personal gains or for pleasure, as some people might think that he went for. He went there for a particular purpose.
Well, I think that especially the power sector and the educational sector that he's going to understudy among other sectors is also good, because currently now Nigeria's grid has collapsed. Yes. And some parts of the states have no light. Even my area don't have, and it's very unfortunate. So maybe
even before the grid collapsed, we've been having power issues.
Yes, we've been having power issues.
So how much more now that the grid has collapsed? It's something he really should go and know how they go about it.
Of course, if you've not gotten your PVC, you are doing the wrong thing. Of course, INEC has so many units where you can do the registration and then go for the permanent voters card, so that by 2023 you will do the needful, vote the right candidate. Just look at all the candidates. I think we have about 18 presidential candidates so far, and you can just sit down, assess them, and then choose the right person for the betterment of Nigeria come 2023. All right, moving ahead, let's go over to the next story we have on today's edition of Trending Issues, and it has to do with bandits who have now issued a threat letter to the Christian Association of Nigeria. The church is telling them, you have to shut down churches for 3 months. Of course, it is a very sad situation. Let's just take a video of a police commissioner giving an update as regards to that threat letter. We'll be right back.
The threat letter was not sent to the churches. The threat letter was dropped around the headquarters and it was brought to me. I was the one that opened the envelope, read the threat letter. On seeing that, I now invited the Christian Association of Nigeria to tell them about the threat. Whether it is real or not, we have to be security conscious. So I gave them copies of the letter so that they will adjust their programs in the church. Instead of closing late, they should close on time. Thereabout, I now directed all my DPOs to ensure that every Friday, police patrol team must go to mosque and give them adequate security until they finish the Jumat prayers. Equally, on Sundays, all the patrol teams will go around the churches and ensure that they are safe, and after the church service before they close. The threat, we don't take it lightly because you don't know who is behind it. And I've advised the Christian community to be peaceful. They should not bother. I'm on top of the situation. And I told them that if they notice anything, they should make sure they inform me immediately. And they themselves should have their security men to be on guard. If they see any suspicious movement, they should inform me. Because security is not just for the police, it's for everybody. So that's what I did. The letter came through me. I'm investigating. I've directed my SIB to move in to see if we can unravel the circumstances beyond the letter. The DSS are equally working on, because I've informed all the security agencies, all, and we are all investigating to get to the root of the matter.
All right, so even imagine that some bandits will have the guts to issue a threat letter to the church to say you have to shut down for a whole 3 months. Okay, my question: what will be happening within that 3 months if the churches will shut this down?
To even have to, why would they want the churches to shut down in the first place? What is it that they are planning to do? What will even give them the impetus to even suggest such a thing? This goes a long way to tell us that I really can't say the security in this system is going to be something else.
You know, this is coming after the recent massacre that happened at Owo at St. Francis Catholic Church in all those states. And of course, 40 persons have been confirmed dead, and by Friday, they will be given a mass burial. Now, these bandits are saying, you have to shut down. And of course,
they are not even repentant of what they've done.
Of course, they are not.
I'm not even sure they think like human beings. Are they even human beings to even start with?
They are human beings.
They are not repentant. They are not even apologetic. You know, sometimes when you're under the influence of substance, there's a time where you become sober. Do they even ever get sober? Do they even stop to think? How do they even sleep at night? Do they even sleep?
I don't know them, so I cannot tell if they do sleep or not.
Seriously, these are questions that are meant to be answered. I wonder how they even go about their day, knowing that someone somewhere is.
Well, it's a very pathetic situation that we are in Nigeria. And of course, it's not just in the northern states that this insecurity challenge is rampaging. Of course, it has come down to the western and even the southeastern states. And even our own states here, so many cases of kidnapping and every other thing. But now the police are saying that churches need to adjust their program and say no to all this program night vigil, so that security men can as well help them, even in mosque, if they are having their maybe activities, prayer activities and everything. Security.
Is there something they are trying to achieve? Is there something they are trying to achieve? These bandits, are they?
I wouldn't know.
We never really can say.
I wouldn't know.
We never really can say what their motive is really. Why are they so concerned about the religious people? Like, because even Christians and non-Christians alike are not even safe. Both Christians and Muslims, because. Wow.
Well, of course, even Muslims in states like Borno State are being affected, and some of them are not Muslims, some are Christians, some are Muslims. So everybody is just facing the same thing, and it's quite sad. And of course, recently, kidnapping is also part of insecurity. Kidnapping has come down to the southeast. Abia State that used to be very peaceful. That one baffles me a lot. Abia used to be one of the secured and peaceful states in Nigeria, but recently it has become another story. We've had cases of kidnapping. Even just yesterday or so, doctors had to stop work because one of them was kidnapped, I think, a week ago, and he has not been released. He was kidnapped in front of his house.
That's the one that is most alarming.
It is so alarming.
In front of his house. That is to say, no one is even safe again at their homes.
And just yesterday, if you've not heard, yesterday one of the veteran journalists in the name of Mr. Chuks Onoha was kidnapped in his home. These persons were said to have invaded his house, and they asked for money. According to the family members, they asked for money and they said, we have no money, and they had to take this man out of his house and his family. And this morning they called and they are asking for 10 million naira ransom. I don't know where they want this old man to get the money from.
Where do they expect these people to get this money from? I don't know how these people reason sometimes. You came to someone's house asking for a particular sum of amount and they say they do not have. You're now taught to kidnap, thinking that once you kidnap them, the money is going to come out somehow. Now, if the money doesn't come out, what is going to happen? What would they intend to do? What do they intend to do with this person now?
But we hope that that these persons, including Chuks Onoha, will be released safe and sound. Of course, the state government have continued to say that will not relent, will do everything we can to ensure that these cases of insecurity, kidnapping is averted, and we hope that all the relevant agencies, security agencies in Abia State and of course other states wake up. This is a wake-up call that the army, the Nigeria, the civil defense, homeland security, every other person need to wake up to ensure that lives and properties in Abia State especially and other parts of the country are secured. And of course, it is our right to live happily. It's the right to stay safe. When you're not safe, you don't feel safe in your home.
You know,
where else will you be safe?
I wonder. He goes home and then he's kidnapped in front of his house. Where else is he supposed to go to?
The doctor was in front of his house, and then
now they no longer kidnap people on the road. They no longer force them out of their vehicles. They now go to their houses to abduct them. That is very saddening to even hear.
Well, it's a very sad situation. We're so sorry we're ending on a sad note, but we cannot run away from that. Thank you so much for joining us on today's edition of Trending Issues. It has still been Faith Okanwa and Jennifer Ndukalo. Jennifer, thank you so much for coming. All right, don't forget you can join us on all our social media platforms, and also don't forget our news website where you can click on all the news link you want in Nigeria, and of course news coming out outside Nigeria, and get the information you want. Thank you so much. My name is still Faith Okanwa, and until I come your way next time, it is bye for now.